For instance, a beta kitten program in MK Ultra targets actually women to act, dress, and look promiscuous so that it goes towards the agenda of hookup culture, abortion culture, and ultimately a rape and abuse culture.
Kiss. Keep it simple, stupid.
Tell me, boy.
All right, here we go. Say something.
Yo, mama.
Okay. What the fuck? Testicles, 1, 2, testicles.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We back at the young cracks at it. Salute, salute, big dogs.
Salute, salute. Welcome back, everybody. I am Trebles Garcia, your humble host. Joining me in the 1 to 2s is the best co-host on the freaking planet, Big Tank. Salute, salute.
Salute, salute, big dog. We're shaking like bacon. What's good, big dog? How you been?
Everybody, welcome back to Paranoid Radio Podcast. You already know what's up. This is the best show with the best content for the best listeners. Guys, we have an amazing show lined up for you guys with a special guest. Not only a special guest, but probably the most professional guest we've had. Not saying that the others aren't, but she is a journalist and she also hosts a show with the name Paranoid Podcast. Yeah. So how do you differentiate the two podcasts from the name so they don't get confused?
Hey, don't y'all forget, she got the D, we don't, because we packing. Let me know.
wait. Her fucking podcast is called Paranoid Podcast with the D of paranoid at the end, and ours is Paranoid Radio Podcast. Guys, don't get it confused. We have an amazing show with a great content, talking very sensitive stuff, very conspirational. How do you say that shit, fool? Conspirational?
Conspiracy.
There you go. Conspiracy. That's what you said.
Second of blood.
Oh, second of blood. Guys, thank you so much for joining back, guys, and tuning back into this great show. As always, Big Tank is about to connect the randomizing machine and give me the listener of the week.
Randomizing machine, do your thing.
Paranoid Radio.
Listen to that, baby. Purr. Big Tank, who do we have?
CU2_626. CU2_626. He's the most latest follower. He just followed us today in the AMs. Salute, my brother. Nothing but a shout out, and that's a clean ass whip all day.
That's right. What's his name? CU2_6. CU2_626. Have a blessed day. This episode goes out to you. Now,
nothing but love.
Now, Big Tank, it's a bird, it's a plane. Nope, it's Paranoid Radio. Big Tank, what is happening?
What is happening? What is the deal? How's everybody doing? You guys know the deal. This is What is Happening, the best segment of this show, and it's brought to you by yours truly, Big Tank. And you guys know the deal. And if you guys don't, let me teach you guys. So, basic breakdown. I'm gonna give you guys 2 stories, and I want you guys 2 cents from my 2 cents, and I'm depositing that bitch into the bank of knowledge. And best believe I'm stacking up. So,
the bank of knowledge.
That is right. Bank of knowledge. So, first story coming out. There is a video on TikTok that I found, my people. Okay, complete wild. It looks like your normal everyday clip, you cruising through the countryside somewhere out there where you see deer. Okay, it's a family of 2 deer, a mom and the youngling. As they're passing by, recording it, there's a one that just pops out of nowhere. You can't even see it nowhere in plain sight. It's an open field type of thing. So it didn't come out of the bushes or anything like that. It is completely mind-fucked. I am beyond for words. Trebles, have you seen it?
I've seen the video, guys. Big Tank is not emphasizing on it. God damn it. It's a dramatic ass fucking video. I'm going to post it on Paranoid Radio and Paranoid_radio, both Instagram accounts, so that you guys can make sure to see what we are talking about. Dude, it is weird as fuck. You think the Mandela effect is fucking trippy? You think Pikachu not having the brown stripe is fucking trippy? Or Chick-fil-A changing the name around is fucking trippy? Dude, the guy is literally driving, not literally, figuratively, yeah, literally too. He's driving
Literally.
and videotaping, right? Not or recording. Nobody says videotaping anymore. He's recording on his smartphone the freaking deer. There's two of them. There's a buck and there's a dawn, or whatever you call them, the female ones. And as soon as he passes the front, and they're coming towards him, and you can see the one and the second one, right? And as soon as he passes them, a third one pops up out of nowhere. There was no camouflage. There's no oasis. There's no heat. There's no rain. There's no obstruction. Fuck that. It's a clear view. I honestly think he jumped a dimension. Or time lapse.
Fucking bitch in the Matrix if I've ever seen it. It's fucking wild to say the fucking least.
You know, people say, dog, that in 2012 we actually did die. That's a theory out there, that we actually died in 2012. And you know how people say, oh, the light flashed upon my eyes right before I died? Well, 2-3 minutes of death for us could be 8 to 80 years of experience of a lifetime. So I think if that's true, if that theory is true, we probably already died in 2012, right? And then we are living on a dream state now, which is why all of these weird things are happening. A lot of things don't coincide. What do you think about that?
That's a good one. I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, hey, is there different speculations? Yes, most fucking definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Do I believe in all of them? No. You got me? But there has been a lot of things occurring. Remember, in China, I once brought it up, where there was a manifestation of a city on top of a city in the clouds popping up.
A fucking glitch.
To say the very least. So can it happen? Most definitely. Is a problem? Maybe. There's actually a video also where they were in San Fernando, where if you guys have ever paid attention, there's a depiction within the Bible that shows how Lucifer fell, a fallen angel. There was a picture of what looked to be a fallen angel in the same design as how it's stated in the biblical. So can that be happening as well? Yeah, 110%. Or is everything just mashing in together?
I don't know, dog. The Matrix is fucking Matrix. The Matrix, if the Matrix is breaking, you know, they're gonna have to do some repairs, because we're finding out what the fuck's going on. We're waking up.
Hey, more and more, everything seems to be coming to light, or something that's just not making sense. It's definitely a crazy one, to say the very least.
What you got for number 2?
On to the next one, my people. All right, my people. This one's a little bit more plain Jane, if I have to say so myself. But there is a speculation of some sorts that is saying that there is a revolution coming. And yes, and it's not your standard revolution where we're going to go to war and all this type of stuff or anything like that. But as we have all known, we're in the technology era. 100% technology has advanced, quite from a simple fact. Within 10 years, we went from a big fat Nokia phone to a touchscreen one. And ever since then, it's just been evolving and evolving and evolving. So they are saying, what the fuck is next? What's the next big breakthrough? What's the next big thing? And believe it or not, your everyday household items are actually getting upgrades. And what I mean by that is that basic glasses actually have some type of technology called bone listening. But it's called bone listening, where you basically place your regular Ray-Bans. They'll actually show you stuff on the bottom screen. They have cameras and actually play music to a low frequency where you can actually hear in your head. Facebook and Ray-Ban made it. So there's actually the next step above that. What if, instead of actually being an actual smartwatch, it's a regular watch that's integrating it into yourself, to your skin?
You hit a good topic, because everything in your house, I think you have your AC connected to the Wi-Fi.
Yes, sir.
There's a lot of things. Smart houses are a real thing now, and they're more and more popping up. This is not fake. This is real. A lot of, when I say smart house, means that your AC, your fucking licuadora, which is your blender, your toaster, your microwave, your fridge tells you what the fuck is inside. It's connected to the Wi-Fi. You have a screen on it. There's the water taps. Everything's connected to the Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi is connected to a network, which makes your whole household smart. You can lock your doors with your phone through an app 100 miles away from your home. So it's not out of the, how do you say, the realm of possibility that through a chip, you'll be able to reach your social media accounts. Again, you have to also remember that the metaverse is up next. And to answer your question, I think that's what's next. If you cannot place a chip like Elon Musk is trying to do, put a chip on our brain to be able to access the local networks or Wi-Fi network and access social media through our head, right? And virtually see it through our eyes, or I don't know, maybe a virtual screen in front of us, right? Like in the movies, then we will live, breathe, shit, have sex, multiply, and everything in the metaverse through a virtual glasses, having us get stuck inside in our smart houses and keeping us away from the sun and the air and the outside world.
Agreed, 110%. So, will it be a more of Ready Player One type of thing, or will it be more of integrated shipping? Who the fuck knows? But only the future will tell. So, my people, this was What Is Happening. I hope you guys liked it. We will be posting up that video on social media. You might actually see it before this episode airs. So let us know. Give us your feedback. Till the next time, on to regular scheduled broadcasting.
That is right, Big Tank. Thank you for those two amazing stories, as always, doing a great job. Now, guys, I swear this isn't programming, but today we have a special guest that holds almost the same name on her podcast as our very own. Now, the new world programming. We all know programming, from TV shows to music to the elimination of the Pledge of Allegiance in public schools. We've been here before. In a way, we've been trained to normalize certain things in life that would have taken us by shock if it happened 20 or 30 years ago. Today's special guest brings us a topic on programming such as the infamous MK Ultra experiment, but she combines it with today's biggest social unrests, transgenderism, for example. She's an investigative journalist on Crosstalk News. She's a reformed rhino who became red-pilled in late 2021 and has dedicated her existence to pursuing the truth. She's perhaps our first expert guest on satanic MK Ultra symbolism, and she uses her knowledge to spread awareness on the dark and sinister roots of pop culture and cabals that influence everything that we do today. Please give a warm welcome to Gillyan Stone from Paranoid Podcast.
Hey, it's so nice to be here. Thank you for having me.
It is great to have you here. Such an honor. Right before we start, I want you to share a little bit about yourself. Tell the listeners where they can find you and how did you get into this truth movement?
Yeah, so I started around 2021 after, the Afghanistan crisis happened and Joe Biden left over 50,000 U.S. citizens behind, but flew over around 250,000 illegal immigrants from Afghanistan over here. And, I kind of started my journey speaking out against Islam, and I was radically canceled by the left by Kellyanne Conway's daughter, who was formerly on the Trump campaign, and we all believe that she is what made Trump win through her powerful campaign skills. But her daughter was a very, very, very popular leftist, and she kind of got her own internet fame for hating on her mom, getting her mom fired, and she just proceeded to do the same thing with me. So after I was canceled for speaking out against Islam,
Wow.
I lost my job. I was eliminated from all of my conservative groups that I had been, active in and all of that. And I got picked up by Crosstalk News, and I am a journalist with them. And as for right now, you can find me. I've been frequently on the Stu Peters show, speaking around stuff like this, MK Ultra, or even just really weird, true, and freaky stuff, I guess you could say, talking about cannibalism, talking about the modernization of a world without a mother's womb, basically genetically altering and modifying children.
Yes.
And yeah, I'm also doing the same sort of thing on my podcast, where I basically talk about conspiracies, weird, true, and creepy stuff, and that's Paranoid Podcast. So very similar name, but
yes.
Yeah, so that's where I'm focusing my time now, and it's been so fun.
Absolutely. And guys, she has a very distinct way of doing the way she does her show. Paranoid Podcast, I became a fan, and she's very direct, straight to the point, 15 minutes in and out, very digestible show. So make sure you check her out at Paranoid with the D, guys. Not like ours, not like Paranoid Radio. All right, guys. Paranoid Podcast. I know ours is similar, but if you cannot find them because of the confusion of the name, I'll make sure that you can find her on the description of the show and also on paranoidradio.com. Now, let's jump into the nitty gritty of this. I like to say we're going to jump in from the deep end of the pool and set the mood. Now, can you please bring in the topic? It's a very heavy topic, and you have a very, I don't know, like it's a different point of view. You're saying that MK Ultra is, transgenderism is a form of MK Ultra, like revamped, new way of programming.
Yes, I do believe that MK Ultra is ultimately responsible for transgenderism worldwide, and especially in the modernization of America and the Baltic Nordic parts of Europe, because MK Ultra is trauma-based mind control, and transgenderism on its own represents severe base and core programming from MK Ultra. And these two types of programs are the most popular when used on the masses, TV, social media, music, etc. That's the way that they get across this programming. And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, the base program is a short duration method lasting about 20 minutes that requires repeated applications for years to modify a person's behavior, while core programming can be done overnight or in a couple hours to dramatically alter a person's feelings, thoughts, behaviors, or attitudes. So it's a lasting effect, and it could be felt for weeks or months or even years. So the first way, honestly, that you are first susceptible to the base and core programming is by first being traumatized in some way, shape, or form. For instance, it could be anywhere from having a personal traumatic event happen to you and having something trigger it for your program, or it could be something as little as watching a movie where someone is killed or seriously injured on camera. So after these triggers hit, you're traumatized on a scale. It doesn't have to be a large one, but either way, if you saw someone get shot on TV, your body reacts in an uncomfortable, sad, and or scared way, and that's when the messaging sets in, and that is the message of transgenderism being spread worldwide.
Wow. So through trauma, and it's funny because a lot of the people that are now in the transgender in that movement, or that particular lifestyle, they've also had trauma when they were younger. So it kind of connects. Which you're not completely out of the possible idea that this is very possible, basically. Now, there's something that I wanted to touch base on. You also mentioned that, what's the goal here, basically?
So the objective of the, I guess, transgender agenda being spread worldwide is to control the target, humiliate them, degrade them, entrap them, etc. It's all for the globalist agendas.
And they don't know this. People, like the people that live here, not that live in that style. I'm not shaming anybody for living however they want to live. I'm the type of person that says live and let live, right? But they don't know that they're being used for a okay.
Yeah, they don't know at all. And it's really, really sad. And this globalist agenda is really to promote and enhance the market, to basically target a person to make them want to look like the very version of a person for that specific program. For instance, a beta kitten program in MK Ultra targets actually women to act, dress, and look promiscuous so that it goes towards the agenda of hookup culture, abortion culture, and ultimately a rape and abuse culture. And the way that they do this is through advertising the Cardi B's, Beyonce's, Madonna's, and Ariana Grande's of the world to make it look like those types of women are the only types of value to men and to themselves ultimately.
Get the hell out of here. Okay, wait, pause right there. So culture is... Okay, so culture, any type of culture, all cultures in a sense, ultimately they come from a source that's evil. Like you're telling me that all cultures are manufactured to live a certain lifestyle, to push out a certain agenda.
Yes.
Oh
and all of that is to divide and conquer and make us weak so that the New World Order can step in and take control of all of us.
Is this why, I'm sorry I interrupt, I keep interrupting, I have questions. Is this why all these rappers now go through this humiliation process and they dress comedians, and not only black comedians, all types of races, they wear dresses to the red carpet to on music videos. They
So
promote this.
that's kind of a different thing. So, but it's very similar.
Okay.
It's what they do is in the satanic cult, in order for them to gain more traction, popularity, they have to undergo what is called a humiliation ritual, and that is basically dressing guys up in dresses like you saw. What's his name? Brad Pitt.
Hmm.
He was dressed up in a dress, and you'd never seen him in a dress before, and you're like, "What the heck? What is this guy doing? Is it like a kilt? What is it?" But no, it's for a humiliation ritual because ultimately masculine men that look like Brad Pitt, you wouldn't catch them dead in a dress unless it was to go towards a new role for them. Like for instance, a Brad Pitt movie is coming out very soon. So I'm assuming that he had to perform this humiliation ritual to get bigger hits on the movie. That's what I'm guessing because he has a
Like,
movie
kind of
coming
like
up.
kind of like a public stunt, a publicity stunt.
Kind of like that, yeah, but it's basically to show the deep state or his handlers that he is basically controllable still, if that makes sense.
Talk to me a little bit about the symbolism in music and how can we point out. We were talking, guys. We were talking on the DMs, and she mentioned something on her show. Go check it out. I think it was MK Ultra. She blew my freaking face off. She mentioned on Paranoid podcast that there's colors, and when you start seeing these colors repetitively throughout your life, or during your days, this is a sign of you being manipulated. Or okay, explain that to me, please.
Oh yeah, it's a pretty crazy one. And it's one that you can kind of start if you look for it. And all I ask is of anyone is just to look for it and to really think about it.
Hmm.
You don't have to believe me on any topic, but once you kind of see what I'm saying, you kind of get a little bit mind blown. Like for instance, the whole acceptance of Ukraine, right? Um, the whole crisis in Ukraine happened around March.
Hmm.
But back in early February, before anything happened, red and or not red and blue, it was yellow and blue was being promoted across all platforms. So you had like Nike promoting blue and yellow. You had BMW promoting blue and yellow via a like the bumper sticker of a BMW logo and a yellow sunflower, or you have Kim Kardashian in a blue background and wearing gold jewelry,
The
blue and
LA
yellow.
Rams, the LA Rams won the Super Bowl last year, blue and yellow.
Yep, that was blue and
Oh
yellow,
my
and I
God.
believe that that was completely planned. So everything happens for a reason, and there is predictive programming every single place that you look. And that's actually my next episode on Paranoid is about predictive programming and how different events have been predicted over time before they happen. And it's really strange, and yeah, it's just you dive down a completely different rabbit hole there for yeah, it's
Wow.
just crazy. Yeah.
Okay, talk to me about the purples. You said there was what are the colors that you should be on the lookout for, or do the
So,
research on at least.
yeah. So, for instance, I think the most popular one that you can look for is, and that ultimately influences the entire world is red and blue. And that stands for whenever you think of red and blue, you don't really think of the flag anymore. You think of Republican and Democrat.
Cops.
And yeah, that too, cops and all of these things like police right now are used to drive division, and so are the Republicans and Democrats. And ultimately,
Absolutely.
when you're exposed to the same colors and you see a negative response every single time, you're programmed. It's like that one experiment with the dog and the person basically offering his hand out and giving the dog a treat. And every single time the treat was out, the dog would start to drool. And one day, the man didn't have a treat but still held out his hand, and the dog drooled immediately. So it's like one of those like little experiments where it's like if you practice something often and
Hmm.
forever, it becomes like a core part of who
Yeah,
you are.
repetition, the father of learning. You have to. That's what they do in schools. Also, they repeat. How do
Yep.
you learn the ABCs? They repeat. They show it
Yep.
to you in song because it's catchy, and then that's the only way it gets retained in your brain.
Yep.
Wow.
So,
So
like,
it's
when you go to drive a car, it doesn't matter what car it is anymore. You're immediately able to just drive it. Even if it looks different, you're still able to completely drive it. It's a core thing that comes with repetition, and you immediately think of something. Like, for instance, in the 1950s, during the civil rights era, the only actors that were ever black were usually the villains. And so it created a lot of division immediately and segregation and
what?
racism because only black people were used as the villains in the 1950s and beforehand. So whenever people saw a black person, they immediately thought criminal. And that kind of tied in with the culture as well. The more that black people saw criminals, the more that they wanted to act on it. And it's the same with rap music and everything. And so,
That's what
like,
they promoted. Wow, you're hitting
yeah,
key points here.
yeah, and so for like getting back a little bit on topic, for a transgender agenda, it's targeting an audience to make them want to change their whole identity to match an androgynous program model. And they do this through normalizing drag shows,
Hmm.
the androgynous actors and actresses, and the ally movement, and the drag story hours, and all of like the first Maybelline, I guess, makeup artist that was a boy was James Charles, and he wore like women's clothes and like wore makeup and made himself look like a girl. And you had people like just a whole bunch of makeup gurus immediately just standing out more in the transgender community for like the makeup artist point of view. And so it made other people, want to become transgender. And it usually stems from that the same trauma to be programmed, because after every when you go to the movies, and I kind of am iffy now on going to like movie theaters, because I
Hmm.
kind of just deem them now as like MK Ultra hubs. Like,
Yeah, they
this
they
is where you
surround you.
go to get MK Ultra. Yeah,
Oh,
you're
you're
locked in a dark room.
yes.
You see bright and shiny lights flashing before your eyes every few
Hmm.
seconds. You
The
get
sound.
traumatized. Yeah, the sound, lots of sound, screaming. If you go to an action movie, you see blood, gore, violence. That's traumatizing. And then you see a little something, like whether it's a color code, or you hear a message after somebody gets hurt or killed or something, and that is what programs you.
You know
So
what? I have to amplify what you just said. It's true because all your senses are being bombarded with this programming. I'm gonna be honest with you. Now I walk around. Now when I'm driving downtown, and I'm gonna go get some fast food or whatever, and I'm looking at restaurants, and I see these colors and I see their symbols. I don't see it. Taco Bell, for example. I'm not giving them promotion, but when I see Taco Bell now and I see their logo, I don't see a bell anymore. I see a snake eye. I see three of them around. I see a six in there. I see three sixes on a freaking. This is not. It's not. Look,
yeah,
I know I sound like a crazy person, but now that I'm exposed myself and I'm training myself to see these symbols everywhere, numbers, symbols, colors, they're used specifically to talk. Why do you think McDonald's uses red and yellow? Because those colors make you hungry. Every single time you see those golden arches, you get hungry. Just mentioning the name McDonald's makes you feel at home. So you're right. You're right. Programming.
yeah. Yep,
Wow.
it's all programming. And what's interesting too is like the logo for Target and the logo for like, is it like or I think it's a NBC or it's CBS actually.
Hmm.
The CBS logo is the one eye symbolism, and the Target logo is actually the evil eye. Like, you can't make this stuff up. Like, it literally looks like the evil eye whenever I look at Target now, and it looks like I'm seeing like, it's insane, the symbolism, if you look for it and you look up a bunch of like, I guess you just have to look through PDFs, pictures of satanic
You have to
symbols.
look it up. Hashtag look it
Yeah.
up.
Yep. And
I have
like the more
to.
that you do research, it's
Mhm.
just crazy.
Gillian Stone, by all means, I have to come to a close. Please give your message to the world and let them know where they can find you.
Yeah. Well, if you guys want to follow me on my journey to find the truth, you can follow me on Paranoid Pod. That's PARNOIDPOD on Instagram, Paranoid Pod. And you can also visit my website, which is also paranoidpod.com. You can also find me on TikTok, which is where I spend most of my time before I'm banned, at least. And that's Paranoid Pod as well. But yeah, you guys can, if you guys want to follow my journey, you can follow me on there and keep up with everything I'm doing. But yeah, my biggest goal is to get you guys to think, and I don't ask to like make you guys believe what I do, but I do ask that you do think for yourselves. And that's all that I could ever ask, because you're not taking your opinions with you to your deathbed, you're taking your soul with you, and that is all that I care about.
Those are powerful words. Gillyan Stone, you came, you conquered, dropped the hammer of the gods on us. Thank you so much, guys. If you cannot find her stuff, well, you could find her links at paranoidradio.com, paranoidradio.com. You know where that's at. Make sure to follow her on Instagram, please, or at least her pod, Paranoid Podcast on Instagram. Guys, I had a blast. It was such an honor. Thank you so much for being here and sharing platform and moment with us. God bless you guys all, and thank you for joining us. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Paranoid Radio.